Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Morgan, and today I'm going to be making a cover for a junk journal out of a paper bag. I originally got this idea from Barbara at 49 Dragonflies, and so I will link her channel below so you can check out her channel. And so a couple videos back, I did an unboxing of a subscription box from Lind Israel, and the theme was dancing dragonflies. So I wanted to make a cover that I could use for that journal. And what I ended up doing was just I went through and I cut out all of the ephemera and the words, or the little sayings, little pockets, all of, you can see the huge stack of stuff in here. And so there you go. I have all of this waiting for a cover. So I wanted something different. She gives you, the kit comes with, I think it's 2 covers. And then I also got the printed journal kit, which came with another, I think 2 or 4 covers, I can't remember. Get that put aside. But I wanted something a little bit different. And I remembered seeing Barbara on 49 Dragonflies do a journal cover with a paper bag. Now hers had the handles on the top, but I had one of those, except it was in really bad shape. And I didn't really want the handles because I want to do a tie, a fabric tie for a closure. So I decided to just use one of these. This is just from one of our local grocery stores. So the first thing you want to do is to cut it down. And the first part of what I do is to cut this top off where you have this notch here. And you're going to cut just down past it. Like you want to go as close to the top as you can. And this way it just gives you plenty of space for your journal. So you'll see when I cut that, I'll move this over to the side here. You'll see the size. So here is one of the journal pages, and I'm gonna just cut it. Yeah, you can kind of see the size here. So you can even go taller if you want. This is a regular size piece of paper here, just folded in half. So you can kind of see for reference that if you wanted it to be, if you wanted your pages to be a little bit taller or however you want, you have plenty of room. You can also fold this down and you can utilize the space down here. You're just gonna have this crease here that you need to deal with, but I think if you work with the paper a little bit, it should be fine. So, all right. Well, actually, I need this back here. I'm gonna make some markings here, and I wanna leave a little bit of space at the top and a little bit at the bottom. All right, and I'm just gonna go ahead and cut this part. And if you don't have one of these cutter things here, you can, get it straight here. You can just draw a line, just draw a straight line with a ruler and then just cut it with scissors. Or you could use like what's called like a rotary cutter, like for sewing projects and stuff like that. And one thing I've noticed with these bags is that they are notoriously crooked. So you have to kind of allow for that a little bit. And I think I'm gonna cut it this way, and then, well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna use this logo thing here. Now, you can also save this. Don't throw this away. You can use it for tags. journaling cards, anything like that. Linda Israel actually opens hers up and uses it for her scrap pieces of paper, like a little basket. So definitely hang on to that. All right, now get my piece of paper here so you can kind of see how it is here. I left just a smidge on the top and the bottom, and then I also want some space here on the side. Now, if I fold it over, I have extra on the sides here. So what I'm gonna do, so I wanna leave a little bit of an edge on both sides, just because I know that it will probably get chunky. And I'm actually kind of thinking that maybe I'm gonna leave it as it is. I don't think I'm gonna trim the edges. That way it'll have plenty of coverage on the pages. Because when I look at that, when it's laid out, I kind of like that. So, okay, we're gonna leave it as it is. Okay, now the next step, so this is gonna be our inside. And if you wanted to, you can cover the whole surface in like a white acrylic paint. That way it'll cover this, but you have to do the whole entire thing because you will see the white paint through this paint here. So what I'm gonna do is actually make some pockets in here that come down, and then you won't even see this because it'll be covered up by pockets. So I'm not gonna worry about that. All right, so what I'm using is just this metallic acrylic paint. This is just a set from Amazon. You can also get it from Arteza. They have a nice set, but it was really expensive. So here's the set I got. So you can kind of just see all the different colors in there, and I'll have it linked for you below in the description box. And if you have any questions, let me know. But so far I've been really happy with them. I've used several of the colors on some different projects, and I really like them. So there's the front of the box there. And then I just cut that open so that I would have a space to keep them all organized, so they weren't rolling around on my desk everywhere. And believe it or not, this is the biggest paintbrush that I have. So this is what I'm going to use. It's going to take me a little while. So I'll probably just speed it up, put some music on, and get this painted, and then we will be back. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say too is that I want to be able to see the paper bag through the paint. That's my preference. If you, I'm gonna get a piece of scratch paper here. If you want to cover the whole entire bag so that you can't see any of the paper bag through the paint, feel free to do that. It's totally up to you. It's your journal, so you do what you want. I want to be able to see the paper bag through the paint, so I am not going to take it all the way up to the edge here. You can just kind of see I've got some spots there. And because I just want it to be kind of, what's the word? Grungy? I don't know if grungy is the right word, but you know what I mean. Okay, so there we go. I have it all painted, I'm going to use my heat tool to dry it a little bit so that it's not so tacky. Then we'll flip it over and we will do the inside. Okay, so now, yeah, and I forgot to say, we're gonna go ahead and do the inside here. I forgot to say that so I'm gonna do this whole process of making a journal. So the first thing we'll do is, in this video today, we'll cover how to make the cover. And then the next step will be like picking the pages and making some different decorations for the pages and stuff like that, putting the journal together, all of that. So it'll be, I don't know, I'm thinking maybe 3 videos. Okay, now I'm going to dry this, and then I'll be right back. All right, get this stuff put aside here. Okay, so now I was noticing that this is crooked. So like I told you, when you cut it, they're notorious for being crooked. So what I'm gonna do is make a mark. It's a lot easier if I do it this way. All right. And then I'm going to cut that extra off. So this is the inside of our cover here. Now, as we're kind of looking at it, what we want to do is we're going to sew around it with the sewing machine. Now, if you don't have a sewing machine, you can just glue it. It'll be perfectly fine. Don't even worry about that, because I did make one actually before we got the sewing machine that I just glued down, and it was perfectly fine. This one I made just kind of like my little prototype practice guy. What I did with this was actually left it open at the top. So if you are familiar with planners, some of the planner covers have this pocket in the back. I thought, well, how cute would that be? So I left it open, and I thought that was really cute. So, but this one I am going to stitch all the way around. Now the first thing I want to do is to put down my pockets back here, and because I want to sew on top of those. I want the sewing to be on top of those. So that's what we're going to do next. Okay, so like I showed you, I have this bag of pockets that came in the kit, and I have some that these I printed out myself, so they're just on regular paper, so they're gonna be really thin. And for the back of here, I definitely want something a little bit more sturdy. So these are the ones that came printed in the kit, and they are a lot more sturdy. So now I just need to decide which ones I want to do. I kind of like that. And this one here. on this side, I think, is what I want to do. Or maybe this one. Kind of like the contrast of the green in there. Okay, so those are the ones I'm gonna do. Now, the technique for the pockets is really, really simple. I got it from Linda Israel, and she does lives every week, and she will make a journal to give away at the end of each live. Anyway, I got a little rabbit trail there. She shows you how to do pockets, and you can just glue these down as they are, but what she shows is how you put some paper here. You glue some paper down, you fold it in half, put some down here, and then it creates like a place for your journaling card or whatever you're putting in here to like slip into, and it allows you to utilize more of the pocket. So I will show you what I mean here. So I have some of these book pages here that I had left over from another project that I did that I kind of want to use up. And I've got this long strip here. So you want these strips to be about 1 inch wide is what you're going for. And what you're going to do is you're just going to glue them down to your page here. You're just going to run, dried glue there. You're just going to run a thin strip of glue along the side there. And you're going to go ahead and stick your paper down halfway onto your page there. Right. And then we're going to do the next side, or the next edge here. And these are, I might go ahead and use 2 of these side by side so I can get them used up. Okay, and then one of these smaller ones for this side, and this is just a little bit more, not quite as tall, but that's okay. Okay, now we're gonna set that aside and let it dry, and we're gonna work on this one. Now this one I don't have a little piece of scratch paper here so I can cut some longer strips. Oops. So just for the sake of time, I could use multiple smaller ones, or I could just cut these real quick. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay. So I'm gonna put one on these sides here and then just cut it to fit. the same thing on this side. Extra glue there, kind of seeping out. Got a little glue happy. Okay, so there we go. All right, now we're gonna go back to this pocket here. All right, and what you want to do is fold it in half. Just fold it up past the edge of the pocket itself. Okay. You want to snip, actually you could do this first, probably easier. Snip your edges at an angle. Okay. You're gonna fold these up, and this is still just a little bit damp, but that's okay. Okay, grab your cover, put some glue on here, on this edge too, and then you're just going to glue it down. And I got squishy glue coming out. That's normal. I tend to put too much glue down every single time that I do something, so. All right, so here's the first one. Okay, so now we have our pockets. And when you do these, you want to take like a bone folder or something and just make sure that your pages are not, or the pocket itself is not glued down. Because sometimes when you get too much glue, it can squish out, and then the actual pocket itself will be glued down, and then it kind of inhibits what you can put in there. All right, now I am going to glue this, or use my heat tool on this, just to make sure that the glue is dry before I go to the sewing machine, because you don't want to sew it while it's still, the glue is still wet, or you'll get the needle all gummy, so we definitely don't want that. Alrighty, now I am never going to claim to be any sort of expert sewer person, seamstress, okay? If I can do this, anybody can do it. And it does not have to be perfect. In fact, I like the imperfect. So you can kind of see that it bubbled up a little bit when I sewed it. But when you get papers in here and you sew them down, you're not even gonna notice that. You know, the outside is perfect. So I'm not even gonna stress about the inside being, I've got this little crease here. whatever. It's not supposed to be perfect, and yeah, I'm not gonna worry about it. One thing I am gonna do is paint these edges here. Don't worry about your sewing being crooked or anything like that, because trust me, I know that it's easy to get kind of intimidated. I'm still trying to not be intimidated by the sewing machine, but it's a little difficult. And you can actually see down here where the thread broke, so I had to go back in and start again. So it's got extra holes down here. I'm not even worried about it. Not gonna worry about it. Okay, so now we want to do the front, and I pulled out a couple of elements. This one I had here was actually printed on just regular paper, and it came in the kit as like printed on heavy cardstock. So I'm going to use that one instead because it's thicker. And then I have this little stack here. And then here's kind of my pile of stuff that I have. So in the kit, she gives you a bunch of chipboard dragonflies and different elements that way. So what I did is I took some of my metallic paint in, I can't remember, oh yeah, the bluish purple is the color that I used. And I just put it on with my finger, very, you know, yeah, haphazardly. Just painted it a little bit with my finger. Then I did a little bit more of it on his body and his legs. And then I used, this is called Dragonfly Glaze. And it's just a really pretty shimmer. It's like when you touch a butterfly and you get that shiny, shimmery stuff on your hands. That's what this looks like. So I don't know. Let me see if I can get kind of a better close-up of it for you so you can see it. There you go. See that? So it just kind of gives it a really pretty shimmer. And I have some fabric here that my mom gave me a bunch of fabric scraps from her sewing. She makes quilts. And so she gave me a bunch of remnants, so little scraps and stuff. Got some lace. And I just thought that this would be kind of pretty to layer on here. And just like that. And this is, it's always kind of a process to figure all of this out. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get it all laid out. Then I'm gonna take this to the sewing machine and the fabric itself, stitch around it so we have that same black element or whatever. And then I will probably sew this down. So these two together, the little phrase and the lace, and then glue it down to that. And yeah, so I don't know. I don't want to cover up too much of the fabric because it's so pretty. But I was thinking just something like this. I loved this pop here of color on this flower. So I think what I'm gonna do, I also have this thicker piece of lace here that I thought might be kind of pretty behind it. Just as an extra element there on the side. But man, you really can't see a lot of it, so that may be something that we do later. All right, so what I want to do first is to put some paper on the back of this. To make it more sturdy, just kind of give it a backing. And I am going to use this Fabri-Tac glue. because it dries really quickly, and it will hold it down just enough. These little strings everywhere. It'll hold it down just enough to allow me to sew it down. I'm kind of questioning this here. I think I want something thicker, like some kind of cardstock or something, just because I want it. Oh, no, I got the glue all squished up here at the top. I want to make sure that it's sturdy. So I'm just going to put some glue across like this. And this strip of fabric is also not straight. So when you, yeah, but it's okay. Like I said, we're gonna sew it, so it's not gonna be a big deal. All right, now I'm gonna dry it with my heat tool because again, you don't want the glue gumming up your needle. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, you can kind of see the front there. I'm gonna sew around the edge here. And then I'm also going to sew down this element here to the lace, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I got that sewn down. I decided not to sew this one. I just glued it. Yeah, just changed my mind there. Now, here's where my newbie-ness of using a sewing machine is gonna come out. It's crooked. And something happened down here. The thread got all gummed up. So what I did to kind of, I don't know, make it look like not quite so, what the heck happened, is to stitch some extra up here in this corner. So it's crooked, but I'm not gonna worry about it. So tell me not to worry about it, right? Because there's part of me that struggles with having things straight. So, but it's crooked on both sides. So I feel like it balances itself out. I don't know. All right, so got this here, got my little dragonfly, the flower. I think I just want to kind of offset that there a little bit, put him like that, and maybe put the flower down here. Okay, I think I like that. The only other thing would be if I moved it, I made the dragonfly kind of popping out this side. This is kind of the thing that I struggle with, is where to put everything. Maybe I want the dragonfly on top of that. And then glue that down there. Yes, that's what I want. Okay, so we're gonna glue our lace thingy down, and I'm just using the Fabri-Tac again. It is like good stuff. It's a little bit expensive, so I don't use it a lot. But it really helps to glue down. Let's move this over just a squidge. There we go. I'll make sure I'm straight. Okay. And I think for this dragonfly, I am also going to use the Fabri-Tac just because I'm sticking it down to the fabric itself. And I'm just gonna go really lightly on the wings. Okay, and then my little paper flower here. There we go. And then the last thing I want to do is to just glue this down to my cover. And I still have this lace, but I don't know if I don't know how I want to use it. It's so pretty, but I feel like it would just be, yeah, weird. So, all right, now for the cover, for the little cover piece, I'm just going to use my tacky glue, and I got a little crazy there in the corner. So I'm just going to spread that out a little because I don't want it coming through the holes of the sewing. So I'm gonna spread that out with my finger a little bit. All right, and then I'm gonna glue it down. Sure that it's straight. And basically what I'm looking at is just to make sure that that sentiment is straight, because obviously this is crooked here with the fabric. So there we go. Now I have this edge here that I'm going to glue down as well, and some of the paint actually helped it stick down. So, but I'm going to glue that down real quick. All right, so I'm gonna let it dry. I'm gonna let it sit flat so that that can completely dry and adhere down. And in the next video, we will work on some of the pages to go into the journal here. I'm just gonna do one signature. So it'll be about 10-ish pages, and we'll put those together and then get it bound and yeah, everything put together. So probably 2 more videos in this series, just so that they don't get super long. And yeah, so we'll see you in the next one. Bye.